test, Algebra 1, and we're starting with exponents, okay? Our first property, we have the product of two powers. This property says that if you have a multiplication, same base but different exponents, you add the exponents. Keep the base, add the exponents. For example, if we have x squared times x to the fifth power, we keep the base, which is x, we add the exponents, and my answer, x to the seventh power. Okay? Another example for this, we have 2 to the second power times 2 to the eighth power. Again, we keep the base, we add the exponents, and my answer, 2 to the 10th power. Okay? Now let's move to power of a power. This property says that every time you have a base raised to an exponent, then to another exponent, the answer will be the base, and you will have to multiply the exponents. Okay? For example, if we have x cubed to the fourth power, what are we going to do? We're going to have to multiply the exponents. So 3 times 4 is 12. Okay. Now let's move to our third property, which is power of a product. This property says that every time you have a multiplication of two numbers raised to an exponent, what we're going to do is distribute the exponent. Okay? Now, for example, if we have x squared, y squared to the third power, we're going to multiply the exponents. So x6, y6. We will distribute the 3 in x and y. Now, our fourth property, we have power of a quotient. Same thing, we have a division of two numbers raised to an exponent. Okay? What we're going to do, we'll have to distribute the exponent. So a to the n divided by b to the n power. For example, if we have x and y squared, we will have to distribute the exponent. So x squared divided by y squared. Now our fifth property, quotient of two powers. We're going to have the same base, just like our first property, but now we have a division. Okay? They have different exponents, and right here we keep the base, subtract the exponents. Okay? For example, if we have x to the sixth power divided by x squared, we keep the base, which is x, subtract the exponents, and my answer, x to the fourth power. Now we're moving to the sixth property. This is the zero exponent rule. Okay? Every time you have a number raised to the zero power, the answer will always be 1. For example, if I have x to the zero power, the answer is 1. If I have negative 5 to the zero power, we keep the sign, and anything raised to the zero power is 1. Okay? Number 7, we have the negative exponent rule. Every time you have a number with a negative exponent, you will have to use the reciprocal. Okay? So the answer here, 1 over b to the n power. Now, if the negative exponent is in the denominator, you move the base to the numerator. Okay? For example, if I have x to the negative 4, we have 1 over x4. Now, if I have 1 over x to the negative 4, my answer will be x4. Okay, thank you. Now let's keep going with an introduction to polynomials. Okay? So first of all, what's a monomial? Well, a monomial is composed of variables, which can be x, y, z, any letter, and numbers. Okay? A monomial, for example, it can be 7xy. This is a monomial, and it's considered a term. Okay? Now, a polynomial, it's a composition of monomials. So we have 2x squared plus 2x. This is a binomial. We have two terms. Okay? Now, a trinomial is composed of three terms. Okay, when we're talking about polynomials, you will find on the test that I will ask you for the degree of the polynomial. How do we determine the degree? Well, first of all, let's say you have 8x squared y. The degree of this monomial will be 3. Why 3? Well, we have an exponent here that is a 2, and then we have an exponent that it's an invisible 1. Okay, we add those two, and we get the 3. Okay, let's say we have negative 7xy squared z cubed. Okay, so the degree for this example will be 6. We have a 3 plus 2 plus our invisible 1. Okay. Now, if you have a polynomial, that means more than one term, how do we determine the degree for that? Well, let's assume we have something like this, okay? For this term, the degree is 2. For this term here, the degree is 5, 2 plus 3. Now for this one, this is an x, the degree is 1. When we have polynomials, you get the highest degree, okay? Or the highest number. So my degree on this polynomial is 5. Yeah. Let's continue now with sums and difference, including polynomials. You will read on the test, add the following. We have 4x squared plus 5x plus 1 and 7x squared minus 9x plus 4. Okay, you can use two methods, either vertical or horizontal. So let's start with the vertical form. The only thing we do is put everything in parentheses, then we have an addition, right? We have add this plus this, correct? Well, we have here 7x squared minus 9x plus 4. Since we have a positive exponent before this parentheses, we keep the signs the way they are. So we just get rid of the parentheses. Plus 7x squared minus 9x plus 4. Now, how are we going to add all of these numbers? Well, you need to make sure that you combine like terms, meaning they have the same variable. So we have 4x squared plus 7x squared. Then we have 5x minus 9x. And finally, we have the numbers, so plus 1 plus 4. Okay? Now 4 plus 7, this is 11x squared minus 4x plus 5. And that's your answer. This is doing it, the problem using the vertical form. Okay? Now we're going to use the horizontal form. You should get the same answer. Okay? So we align all the numbers. Plus 1 plus 7x squared, remember, same variables. Okay? Minus 9x plus 4. We have 11x squared being down the variable minus 4x plus 5. And you should have the same answer. Now let's move to differences of polynomials. You will find a problem like this on the test. It'll read, subtract this trinomial from this trinomial. Now this is a keyword, alright? This means that the first number is the 7x squared minus 2x minus 4. So we will align 7x squared minus 2x minus 4 minus 3x squared plus 7x minus 1. Now, we have a negative sign in front of the parentheses, which this means is that we need to change the signs inside the parentheses. So in order to get rid of the parentheses, we do the following. We keep the first parentheses intact. Okay? Now we change all the signs on the second one. So negative 3x squared, we have a positive here, becomes a negative. We have a negative, becomes a positive number. Okay? Now what's next? We combine like terms. So 7x squared minus 3x squared minus 2x minus 7x minus 4 plus 1. Okay? Now 7 minus 3 will give you 4x squared minus 2 minus 7 minus 9x minus 4 plus 1 minus 3. And that's your answer. Okay? Now, if we use the vertical form, the horizontal form, you would have 7x squared minus 2x minus 4 minus parentheses. Don't forget to put the parentheses. You have 3x squared plus 7x minus 1. Okay? Well, in order to get rid of the parentheses, we need to change all the signs inside of it. So, I'm going to erase the parentheses. This is a negative, this is a positive, so this becomes a negative, and this becomes a positive. Now we do the addition. We have 7 minus 3, 4x squared, minus 2 minus 7, minus 9x, minus 3. Okay, and we should get the same answer. Okay, now let's move to multiplications with polynomials. Okay, what we're going to do here is you're going to multiply the numbers. Okay, so you have 5 times negative 6. This becomes a negative 30. Now, if you remember, the product rule says that every time you have the same variable, different exponents, you add the exponents if you have a multiplication. So in this case, we keep the base and we add the exponents. Okay? Now we have also the same base with y, and we're going to have 4 plus 8. Okay? So my final answer on this example would be 3 plus 7, 10, 4 plus 8, 12. Okay? That's the answer. Now let's move to a trinomial and a monomial. So what are we going to do here? Well, we're going to start by distributing the 3x squared. Okay? So 3x squared times 2x squared. Well, the numbers 3 times 2 is 6. Now we have a multiplication here, so we're going to add the exponents. So we keep the base, we add the exponents. Again, we have 3x squared times 5x. We have 15. We keep the base, we add the exponents. And finally, we have 3x squared times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, and we keep the x squared. Now let's solve this one's right here. We have 6x to the 4th plus 15x cubed plus 9x squared. And this is your final answer. Okay, thank you. I hope this review will help you for your final exam. So let me know if you have any questions. I'll be around. You have my email. If not, it's syamada@swccollege.net. Thank you.